Hey, my name is Dana Olson, serial entrepreneur, homeschooling mama of 5, and bespoke business strategist with We the Mamas. Today I really want to dig into what do you do when you've lost momentum? Momentum towards a goal, momentum in something that you've been building up, feeling super duper excited about. I mean, how many of you have been excited to do something and you start to do this amazing, incredible thing and all of a sudden, bam, you're 7 days in out of a 30-day challenge and you've lost it. You've lost your sense of purpose. You've lost your energy. You've lost your momentum. It's just gone. What do? How do you get back on track? Well, first I want to acknowledge that it is a normal human thing to lose your momentum. I just want you to think about the tide in the ocean, how it ebbs and it flows and it pulls and it pushes. Can you imagine if the waves were always crashing forward? Can you imagine what that constant push would be? It's not human nature. It is not in nature to be in a constant state of momentum. It is anti-natural to be in a constant state of momentum. So if you've lost your momentum, congrats, you're normal. Give yourself a high five. It also means that you know how to get back on track. If you built it before, you can do it again. So I want to go into that idea of what can you do to get your momentum back, to get your mojo back, to help you hit that goal, whether it's a life goal, a health goal, a business goal. What's the goal? Is it an education goal? What's the goal? And how do you get back on the path to reaching that goal so that you can really live out your mission and feel really dang good about it, okay? Well, first, let's talk about where momentum comes from. It comes from the cycle of thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. If you know your brain just a little bit here, your brain kind of has a lizard brain and a monkey brain. Your lizard brain is your primal brain. Your brain that says, I'm going to fight, I'm going to freeze, I'm going to flee, I'm out of here, right? Your lizard brain is your primal brain. And if you've ever done an action that's created a negative feeling or a negative result, well, your brain knows that. Your lizard brain remembers that. Your lizard brain, your primal brain, knows the feeling of failure. Your lizard brain is going to protect you from that. Your lizard brain is going to flee when it feels like you're losing. Your lizard brain is going to freeze when it feels like you're not reaching the goal that you want to reach, right? Well, what about your monkey brain? Your monkey brain is this cognitive space that processes complex thoughts, complex feelings. It has empathy. It has understanding. You're really going into the nuances of life and business and the people around you. So what happens when you're engaging your monkey brain? Well, that's when you're building momentum. That's when you're doing the actions. And just like you have a left brain and a right brain, you have a lizard brain and a monkey brain, and it is a natural ebb and flow for those things to move. You're not always ever going to be engaged with just one faction of your brain at a time. So I want you to think about this for a minute here. You have thoughts, you have feelings, you have actions, you have results. You have this ebb and flow, this push and pull, this tidal wave of emotion, of thoughts, of feelings, of actions, of results. As humans, we tend to think, well, gee, if I just kept doing the actions, I'd keep getting the results. And we miss the whole first part of that equation, which is the thoughts. It's the feelings. So think about it for just a minute, right? If you're leaning into your energy and your confidence and your courage, well, at what point in your cycle of momentum building did you start to have a diminishing return? At what point did your monkey brain say, hey, this isn't the task for me anymore, and let your lizard brain take over? It's because your results begin with your thoughts. Your brain desires to protect you, and it's going to ebb and flow back and forth, helping to get you the thing that it feels like will best protect you, okay? So thoughts, feelings, actions, results. It's so important that we remember this. Thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Now, in that space of your brain, when you want to create a good result, your brain, your thoughts should naturally increase in their production of serotonin or your production of dopamine, right? So if your brain is able to produce the chemicals that make it feel good, what kind of actions are you going to do? You're going to do the momentum building actions. If your brain is not producing the dopamine, if your brain is not producing the serotonin, that means you're not going to take the actions that get you the results you want because you don't feel good anymore. So often we dismiss feelings. We're talking about monkey brain and croc brain here. Yes, your lizard brain. Your lizard brain is going to protect you. Your lizard brain is going to flee from that site because it wants to keep you safe. So you lose momentum, and that's normal. The thing is, how do you build it back up? So I want to dig into 3 ways that you can do that right here, right now, today. It doesn't matter how long you've been out of the ring. It doesn't matter when you tossed your hat aside. It doesn't matter if your kids are right there in the room jumping on it with you, and your expectations, how do you feeling like maybe this would be a little bit different? You can get back on, okay? So first and foremost, we charge the energy. How do we charge the energy? Well, let's dig into this question here, okay? What emotions deplete your energy most often? What negatively charging environments do you keep putting yourself in? Is it naysayers? Is it people who don't believe in you? Is it you feeding yourself thoughts about failure? Are you slapping yourself around because you're not getting the results you want? And if you are in that environment, if you're feeding those emotions of negativity, if you're feeding the lizard brain, well, the lizard brain's going to stay. So what happens if you feed the monkey brain instead? You want to produce the serotonin. You want to produce the dopamine. You want to produce the good feelings. So you have to flip that script, okay? What emotions do you desire to feel consistently? What are 2 to 3 simple actions or activities that you could do right now? Is it taking a walk out by the lake? Is it just being in nature? Is it going out and gardening? Is it getting a mocha chocolate? Is it sitting with an apple? Is it breathing? Are you the kind of person who wants to pump your blood? So you want to hit the gym? Are you the person who's like, whoa, my kids are with me all the time. What are we going to do? Are we going to have a pillow fight? Can you have a laugh fest? What can you do to charge your energy to feed the positive feeling that you have, okay? Because now your brain is doing the things in thinking land, and you're moving into this action land and this feeling land, and you're like, okay, I can do the thing I want to do. I have the energy. I have the energy. Where does that energy go? It's going to feed your confidence, okay? That's going to boost those feelings and those actions even more. On one side, I want you to think, all right, I've lost momentum. I have lost momentum because these are the things that consistently erode, undermine, eat away at my feeling good, at my confidence, at my results all the time. What are those negative thoughts that are coming up for you? What are the things? Is it an expectation limitation where you thought it would be one way and it happened a different way? Happens every day, right? Homeschooling Mama 5. That means if I want to go work out, there's a 99% chance that my 2-year-old is going to be right there with me. So I can lift her up, or I can lift the medicine ball up. You get to flip the script. So this is what your feel-good brain needs to do right now. If you can acknowledge the expectation that you have for yourself, for the way you think something should be, and acknowledge how it actually is, what is the bridge you can build between the two so that you feel really good about how it's happening? What you expect rarely plays out. But that's where your anger comes from. That's where your resentment comes from. That's where your lizard comes back in and says, all right, this monkey that was filled with empathy and understanding and complex function is no longer serving me. I'm angry. The thing that I wanted didn't happen. Lizard taking over here, and we're not going to do that thing that's going to get that result that I want because I don't feel good anymore. Make it feel good, right? Make it fun. And the simplest way to do that is to reframe your expectation with reality. How can you get more of the result you want with what you actually have happening right in front of you right now? It's changing your expectation and remembering that you are the author of the story, and you can flip your script, and you can do it right here, right now, especially when your brain is in that feel-good state, okay? So then we know we go thoughts, we go feelings, we go actions, we go results. What is really in that action result bridge, right? It's courage, y'all. It's as simple as courage. It's the ability to tackle difficult or stressful tasks and do it with strength, do it with dignity, do it with grace, do it with persistence, right? If there's one thing you have to be as an entrepreneur, as a parent, as a human, it's persistent about what you're passionate about. If you want to protect that passion, you're persistent about how you pursue it. So I want you to just recognize right here, right now, in this moment, You are more successful than you think you are. I guarantee it. You are more successful than you think you are, and it takes courage to see that. If you could just think about the messy in the middle space, the messy in the middle of life, messy in the middle of business, messy in the middle of, I went after it and I lost it. What happened there? Well, think about baking bread for a minute. How many of y'all have made bread before? Gosh, make cookies, right? Cookies are good too. I'm sure you've made something. And you start out with these nice dry ingredients. You're just measuring a cup of flour, measuring a cup of sugar, pouring in a little salt, and then you add some water. And at some point in there, you have to get your hands in. You have to roll. You have to knead. It gets messy. It's sticky. It's gooey. And maybe you don't like that feeling. It's muddy, right? It's messy. And messiness and momentum, oh man, I swear they are made for each other, because you're ebbing and you're flowing and you're mixing it up. What is going on in there? Well, you have to take courage to go from this clean, dry space to this messy space to this amazing space. What happens when you put those cookies in the oven after you've gotten your hands all gooey? You bake them. You eat them. It's not messy anymore. Same with the bread, y'all. Same with the bread. It's not messy anymore. It's delicious. It's exactly the result that you wanted, but it required courage to do the messy in the middle action taking, okay? So if I could just push you forward in one way right now, it would be to write down 2 to 3 big, audacious, juicy goals you have for yourself right now, whether it's in health or life or business or for your family or your career. What are those big, audacious goals that you have? What are the steps you've already taken to get there? Acknowledge them. Give them a moment of gratitude. When you have courage and you have gratitude for all the things you've already done, your brain is moving, it's pumping all the good stuff, you're feeling the good emotions, you're taking the messy actions. Recognize the journey, because right there, this moment where it feels hard, it feels messy, the cookies are baking. They're in the oven. They're a minute away. Your results are right on the other end of this courage action-taking space. So, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. You have the power to create what you want. You have the power to feel amazing. And I never, ever, ever want you to forget that, because you have the ability to do the thing you want, feeling great about it, not compromising motherhood, not compromising meaning, not compromising money making, but really to change your expectations and your actions so that you are living in true and utter alignment and fulfillment. So thank you all so much for watching today. I hope this is something that gives you that nudge forward that you've truly been needing, because it is perfectly human. It is perfectly natural to lose momentum, to get stuck, and gosh darn it, y'all, to get messy. Back soon.